Can you hear me okay, guys? Let me know in the comments, please. Check, check. Oh, thank you. Thanks, sis. Okay. Yay! Thanks, guys. I can't tell where my focus is. I said it kind of wonky. Hi, and welcome to my first YouTube Live. I'm just saying hi and welcome to my two sisters. But thanks for joining, and for those that are going to be joining on the rewatch, we're going to make our awesome, customized, COVID-friendly Cricut doormat, or whatever stencil you ended up making. I happen to make a COVID-friendly one. So let me just get started over here. Let's just go through the supplies that you're going to need. Okay. My camera might shake a little bit. There we go. Okay, so for the supplies, you're gonna need a doormat, obviously. And I still don't know how to pronounce this. Is it coir doormat? It's that really bristly doormat. And I got this at IKEA. It's the IKEA TRAMPA doormat. You will need stencil brushes. This brush here is the best one. It's a big round brush. These littler ones you can probably find at the dollar store. I think that's where I got them, or Michael's. And they get into the little details, which you'll see later. You are gonna need, I think you can see that, yeah. You're gonna need some water for your paint. You're gonna need some painter's tape. It will be your best friend to attach, yes, the rough stuff, Matt. You will need paint to attach not only your stencil, but we're going to be attaching our mat to like a solid surface. Hi, Uncle Jay. We also are going to use our sealer finisher. So let's see if I can do this to my camera. This is the, I just got this at Michael's. It's just, oh, this one's gloss. Doesn't matter, but you can use matte or gloss. This is just basically an acrylic sealer, so that way once you're done painting, it seals it. Now this is an outdoor mat, so when you rub your feet coming into the house, it does fade over time. All you have to do is touch it up with paint and then seal it again. So we're going to use, I'm just using black, but you can use whatever colors, a mixture of colors you want. Acrylic paint, we got scissors, we got a tray for our paint. I use pins as well. These are corsage pins. I forgot to mention that in the supplies if you need them, but we might not, the way we created our awesome stencil. We have paper towel, and of course we have our stencil over here already cut. So let me just switch over here for a second. I got lots of camera actions. Here we go. Okay, so we're first gonna cut the stencil if you haven't already. I'm just gonna go through that quickly if you haven't cut it already with the Cricut Maker or Explore. And you're gonna use, there's different materials you can use to cut the stencil with. You can use regular cardstock. You can use this is Oracle Mask stencil film. It's like a big sticker masking tape thing. You can, hold on. You can use clear, where am I? This is almost like acetate from back in the day when our teachers used projectors and wrote on things so we could see them. I am totally aging myself right now. So that's plastic film that you can use to cut your stencils with as well. And these are really good if you plan on reusing the stencils. So if you want to make a business out of this and make a whole bunch of custom doormats for people, you can. And of course you're going to need your board. Your cutting mat. So I'm using the standard grip because I don't know if you can see that, it's pretty nasty and it's lost a lot of its stick. So I'll just show you quickly how I make that. Did I say what? When did I say that? Okay, anyway. I am gonna turn on my maker, so hold on, let me switch my camera views. Actually, let me just switch it up again. We're gonna share my screen for a second. Shoot, hold on. I'm gonna close Mara's chat here. She was helping me. So, just share my screen and we're gonna open up Cricut Design Space. So I'm just gonna go through this really quickly if you haven't cut it already, just to show you how you can cut it with any of those different materials that I showed you. So you're gonna go to New Project. Oh, by the way, I also, if you didn't have time to watch the other tutorials on how to make the stencil, in the description, I included my SVG file. So if you want to download that, you can, and I'll show you how we're going to upload that. So once it's downloaded, you go to Upload, Upload Image, Browse, and I can't remember where I put mine, so mine was in the downloads. So you go to wherever you found it. Once it's finished uploading, you'll have this image right here, and you're just gonna select it and insert images. So it's all grouped together right now. Let's just shrink that down. Minus. So you can go to ungroup, you don't have to, but I'm just gonna show you that you can change the color real quick. Let me just move my live feed. So you go up to this color here and just change them all to the similar color. You don't have to, it's just showing you that, it's just telling you that, oh, you got to change your vinyl now. And there. So now we have our 3 pieces ready to go, ready to cut at 11.25. And you just go to Make It. And I'm gonna switch back to my camera real quick so I can show you how to prepare your mat. Where are we? Okay, so we have our cutting mat, and I'm just gonna use regular old cardstock. Disclaimer that the glue is not intended for hair use. That's amazing. This is not Gorilla Glue or whatever that person used. It's just a sealer. I'm sure it could wash out. So because my mat is not sticky anymore, I'm going to use our friendly tape. Painter's tape is amazing because it's non-destructive when it comes to anything that you tape down. And you're just going to tape down all 4 sides. Wish I had some music in the background, but you know, YouTube and its stuff. Copyright claims. All right. So now that that's taped, I'm gonna try not to show my ass crack and pull my maker towards us. Hey, welcome to my floor. And turn this beauty on. Let's get this out of the way. Alright, so let's just make sure. Let's go back to sharing my screen for a second. So we're gonna go to continue. I have the Cricut Maker, And so you have to actually choose the material when it pops up here. For the other Cricut family, the Cricut Explorer and Explorer Air 2, you have a dial and you're just gonna change that to whatever material that you're using. And because I'm using cardstock, you're gonna wanna switch that to cardstock. So I'm gonna switch mine, cardstock, medium cardstock, and I'm just gonna hit done. And then once you go to load, or once that finishes loading, it's gonna tell you which tools you're gonna need. This is exactly the same as the Explorer. I already have my fine point blade inserted into its clamp. And now let's go back to my camera. And you can see it's kind of flashing right here, so it's ready to load my paper into that first, to cut the first board. And we're just gonna press that. I usually hold the board and help feed it through, just because sometimes it doesn't catch nicely. And then you're gonna hit the Cricut flashing button so it can start cutting. And it's gonna be loud for a second because my machine's beautiful and nice and strong and likes to cut things very loudly. I'm not gonna do all three, but this is what you'll do for the next two boards, is you will take this, paint it, oh my gosh, tape it down and cut it. You don't need any special tools for this because our stencil is so large for weeding it. Yes, Jay, I said weeding. You can just use your fingers to peel the stencil off of this, especially with cardstock. If it was the film or the stronger acetate stuff, you will. Oh, acetate. I just got it. No, I did not say acetate. I said acetate. Oh my God. Ugh. My OCD doesn't like how my mat's crooked right now. There we go. Or my maker. That's better visually. Oops. Just thought you wanted to see my beautiful face for a moment instead of my floor. So while we wait for this to cut, let me know if you have any questions before we get started on taping it down. Just checking my chat. I almost went to my FaceTime camera. Let's check that one out. Hi everyone. This is my setup right now. Camera above me, my daughter in the hallway, my bookshelf. Yeah. Okay. So now that that's done, you're gonna press the flashing little arrow guy. That's my floor squeaking, I swear. And you're just gonna peel off the tape. I usually reuse the tape, so I just stick it on my pant leg. Let's see if you can see that. Whoa, like that. Especially because of the next board. So the part we're gonna need is this inner part. Let me just get the tape off here. All right, here's a lovely trick for you guys as well. If you're using cardstock, here's a pain in the ass thing. I swear this works. Just a second. It's because I didn't check the back of my cardstock. Okay, hold on. It's there. I swear my stencil's there. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this over. I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh, which way? Stupid Michaels or whoever likes to attach their flippin' stickers on paper, which then rips it. So I'm just gonna rip that. Ah, there we go. Okay. So here's part of our stencil. Get rid of that W, which may have not cut properly, but this is just for show because I already cut mine. Okay, so once you have your stencils all cut, I'm going to show you on the one that's already done. This is like those cooking shows where it's like, and voila, your stencil is now complete. Ta-da! I'll just move this back. So you're going to flip your stencil on the back, and you're just going to tape them together. Bump them up side by side using little pieces of painter's tape here and bumping that up. Let me remove my cords here. There we go. So now that you have your stencil all ready to go, you can visually place it however you want. I like mine like right here with a little bit of white space around it, some negative space. If there's like little pieces like this D and A, the O seems pretty sturdy, we're gonna pin those down. But first, we're gonna tape the whole stencil down to our surface that we're using. So you're gonna take your tape, as long as the mat, and to your surface, I'm going to tape that all the way down. Okay, and you're going to do this on all sides. Nothing really sticks to this stuff. The doormat is, even if you use stencil film, I've seen people use freezer paper, it's just doesn't like sticking to things. We're gonna make sure. Okay. Are you taping yours down, Mara? Or at least your border? It's okay if I tape over like this O here, because we're gonna go and touch things up afterwards. Same with how my letters are really close to the bottom here. You can get as close as you can with the tape for something like that. I just didn't want to waste paper by cutting just a sliver of that. Sorry if my head's in the way. Mahid. I'm just gonna mute myself for a second because my daughter's saying hello to someone, so I want to make sure nobody's breaking into our house. Sorry guys, 1 second. Yeah, home invasion. So he thinks she heard somebody open our door, but I don't see anybody. Okay, well just chill in the hallway with me, Z. Well, at least we're live, so if I need you guys to call the cops, I'll tell you my address. All right, so now that we have our stencil taped down, we are going to pour our paint colors into our little pan here. I lied, we're not doing that yet. If you have pins, we're not pouring paint yet. You can if you want. If you have pins, you can you can pin down these areas that are sticking up a little bit. And when we stencil, we're gonna just be doing like a stabbing motion. So we're not gonna be painting up and down. So if it's fine as is and not moving too much, you don't have to pin these down. But I'm just gonna get like my D and my A here. All about the D and the A. You guys are nasty. I did make this restricted, right? Can't remember. Oh, well, that pin was blunt. Oh my gosh, I'm using all the J terminology today. Okay. Don't worry about this guy after. There. Now we can pour our paint in. Get your empty little tray. Get your stencil brush ready. And get your water ready. Also, if you have paper towel, get that ready just in case. A lot of people like to use a lot of paint. You're gonna use paint and... How did I manage that? I put my brush down and it just happened to catch that pin. A lot of people like to use a lot of paint and just try to douse this, but you're gonna use paint and water. Yes, that's true, Jay. Pinning will help cut down the paint bleeding through. You're right. But the way we're doing this, we're not gonna go like this way. We're gonna be literally stenciling the brush on. I almost spilled paint everywhere. That would have been amazing. So you're gonna just get your brush a little bit wet, and you're gonna add your paint, and then you're just gonna start going at it. It's gonna look like a hot mess, and you're gonna think you could do a couple more coats if you wanted to, but honestly, I've done these with one coat, and they turn out awesome. I might lift this paint or this tape up a little bit, just so I don't have to really worry about that guy after. If you spill some paint on it accidentally, try to get a wet paper towel as soon as possible. Otherwise, make it into a happy little mistake, or a happy little cloud, happy little tree, or in Mara's case, a happy little bush. This is where we need some awesome copyright-free background music, or some time-lapsing, or some cocktails. That's what I forgot, guys. I forgot to get my wine as one of the supplies. As long as you're doing this up and down motion, you're not gonna get all that craziness underneath. And it's magic when you peel this thing off and your stencil is like kept everything all secure with no bleeding. Bigger letters usually take a little bit longer because obviously there's more paint. Yes. Zoe, want to go get me an alcoholic beverage?
No.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but she said no. It's probably because there's, you know, someone in our house downstairs and we don't know who. Just kidding. Nobody's there. Probably should have pinned this down though, or use less water because that's looking like it wants to come up a bit. always nice to make shit because right now, with the world and the state that it is, it's nice to get creative. I'm just gonna put in a little more paint in here. I think that's why she said no. There's intruders down there. So if you guys do end up doing a doormat and making your own stencil and stuff, I would love to see it. Send me a photo. And I'll post it. Whoa, see that? Should have pinned that down. Never too late. Damn. Corsage pins are pretty good. They seem to help. Like the thicker pins. I think. Feel good with this. Like I said, doesn't have to be like super saturated. So I'm gonna go down to smaller letters, which should be easier to do. Should is the key word. Might need a smaller brush for this. Doesn't this look lovely? Just wait until it's revealed. And then once we do reveal it, wherever these little, how we made that stencil font, wherever those little shapes are, my daughter just growled in the background. Wherever those little shapes are, we'll fill it in with a smaller brush. Whoa! I'm a messy crafter, guys. Oh yeah, adding a bit of water to that. It is ideal to let this guy dry for a bit before you seal it. And when you do use that sealing spray, please make sure you're doing it outdoors, maybe after the snowstorm. Unless you want to inhale all that, that's cool by me, but don't. Actually, no, it's not cool by me. Don't do it. Don't inhale the fumes, Jay. Do you take it off wet? Yeah, you can take it off wet. You just got to be careful you don't have extra paint around, or otherwise it'll drip through. Oops. Just be careful when you're bundling it up. I'll show you in a sec. Okay, so I think that's good for me. I'm just gonna move my water. Maybe wash my hands. It's got paint on them. So I'm just gonna take off these pins first. And then we're gonna do our little touch-ups. So I think this O over here got a little wonky because it moved. That's okay. All right. So yes, this is wet. So we're just gonna start from one side and you're gonna curl it. Boom! Throw this over here for a sec. Look at this cuteness. Okay, so you can see right here and a little bit in my letters. This one looks a little light. This is where you can go through with the smaller brush now. So a smaller stencil brush. And just go in and get those details, which I'll do right now. Also, sitting like this, my foot is asleep. Asleep. So same thing, you're gonna just do the up and down dabbing motion. Fill in any areas you want filled. And get rid of those little shapes we made to make that stencil font. A little bit more water. Oohs and ahs. Thanks, Tanya. Looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna try to do those little letters. I don't have couldn't find my really small one. Wee! Whoopsie. It's okay, I'll just do the shapes. Fill in those gaps. I find also using, I should have said this at the beginning. I do have a standing desk, Jay, but well, it's not really a standing desk. I'll show you my room in a second, or my office in a second. It's just I needed a bigger space to lay everything down and my cameras, and it was just easier this way. For the brush, sorry, you need a bristly brush. Don't use a sponge brush. Those things suck and just fall apart on these bristles when you're trying to paint. So if you're trying to save a buck and you go to the sponge brushes, don't do it. Okay. I think this is looking good. So the only thing, oh thanks. The only thing we need to do is spray it with the sealer. And I would wait though just a little bit. It's okay if you spray it right away, but that's what I used to do in live workshops. But for best results, spray it after this has had time to dry a little bit more. You can always give it another coat. For these smaller letters, I should have actually done a little bit more, or one more coat on the stencil. Top one looks good though. I think. Did I get them all? I think so. Yeah, the smaller letters are a pain. Yeah, I definitely should have given those a second coat, but I think I like it. I think it looks good. My foot's asleep and I won't be able to stand up, so I'm just gonna stretch this out for a second. Okay. And I'll switch the camera to me. And let me know what you guys think. Hold on, let me just adjust myself here. Oh my. Wearing a white shirt. Forgot which camera it was on. Alright, I think that's it, really. Let me know if you guys have any more questions. I'll stick around for... Did I just put black paint on me? I'll stick around for a few more minutes. If you have any Cricut related questions. Yeah, that's basically it. Pretty cool. You can make your own flippin' custom doormat and have people take pictures of it often, because that happens to me. All my doormats, all my Amazon delivery people, Purelator, whoever knocks on my door, they are like, that is the best doormat ever, depending on what's out there, and they'll take a picture of it, which is hilarious. Thanks, Sissy! Yeah, so after you spray it, and if you notice it's wearing down a lot, you just touch it up again with acrylic paint, give it another spray. That's all you need to do. And you can use tons of different colors on your mats. I've seen people use like a did an ombre effect for the word sunshine, which turned out really sweet. I'll have to post that on my blog eventually or on Instagram. I think that's it. Let's see. I'm gonna switch to my FaceTime camera. Oh, good question. I do sell them. I don't have my website live yet. Next week when I send the child back to school. Yeah, so if you want a custom saying, depends on what you would like it to say, I can definitely make one for you, Jay. I'll give you the info. What about sealing them after? Yeah, so you wait 20, or not 24 hours, at least until the paint dries. And then you use, I use this. It's just a sealer acrylic finisher. I just spray it down. That's it. And then because you're using it to wipe your feet, it's gonna fade after a while. So you just touch it up again with acrylic paint and then seal it again. Yeah. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, I think I have quite a collection now. I think that's it. Mara, how's it going? I want to know how yours is going. Give me a comment and then I'll let everyone go and finish up their stuffs. Unless you got disconnected. I'm just gonna test something while we're waiting for Mara to respond. There. She's working. I can add comments to my live broadcast. That's cool. Good. I can't wait to see it. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. I know it was like a bit of a, not a scramble, but that was my first live, so we'll see in the future what the future will hold. Glad it's going good, Mar. Let's see if I can add that. Yay. Can I make this a different color? You guys are just being my test subjects now. Okay, I'm gonna cancel that. There. All right. Jay says, work it, Wawa. I'll add that to my broadcast. Thanks, Sissy. You're welcome for the toot. At least I didn't toot in real life. We can kind of be together when we're not. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Here's the mat one more time. I'm gonna fix that up and yeah. Bye, everyone. Thank you.